even though I'm from Brazil, and I'm very grateful that I'm here in America because I see the level of freedom
Hmm.
that the country allows people. And I shouldn't even say that because it's not even the country, but this the
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 Constitution.
Constitution. Now, I mean, I think the Constitution is it's a beautiful document if you actually
Hmm.
read through the Constitution and
Yeah, I
Declaration of
agree.
Independence. I think it if well interpreted, I think and I think it has been so far. Even though, like I always say, we do have issues in society. I think it was that document based like actions based on that document. I think
Well,
many
nowadays.
positive things flourish from that.
Well, the modern version of the document, because it was amended and a few times throughout history, and there's
Yeah,
this
but I think
14th
the
Amendment
core
who recognized, black people
but the
as
core
equal
idea,
citizens.
yeah, but the core
So
idea is
I think it's the 14th Amendment. And hey, we're not even American citizens, guys. So
yeah.
props for us for
I
knowing
have
these
to
things.
study because when I go through my citizenship,
Oh yeah,
how do you call
the
it?
interview
Yeah,
or
I have
test.
to do my test.
You need to know all the presidents. You need to know all
But
the
yeah,
Constitution. Yeah, it's
I
interesting.
think I just think it's positive because it puts uh, first of all it it includes a God figure.
Does it?
Yeah, yeah.
What do you mean by a God figure? There's literally separation of state and church. Or
Well,
is like
not
the piece of document your new God, the new laws you
no,
have
but
to
it's
abide by?
I think it it mentions it mentions well, even like if you
I
see
th-
the Pledge of Allegiance, it's a nation under God.
but that Pledge of Allegiance is a recent thing. It's a 50s or 60s thing. It did not exist in the grand history of America.
Or maybe it
That could
doesn't.
be
But okay, so
looked
maybe
at
I'm
as
mistaken. Okay,
propaganda.
I'm gonna look it up, but
Yeah.
maybe I'm mistaken. But I guess the core value that I I understand to be the most important one is to really look at the individual as a sovereign individual that has fundamental rights
Mhm.
that is not given by the state. I think that's when God comes into play. It's given by something else than the state, but it's given by let's say deity, the divinity, or I don't know if it mentions
I
God.
just wrote, is God mentioned? And it comes like, is God mentioned in the Constitution
Really?
as the first
I'm
search?
telling you, bro. They're listening to us.
The U.S. Constitution never explicitly mentions God
ExpressVPN.
or the divine, right?
If you're tired of big tech looking at your stuff,
So, as I'm saying, this important line, the first hit, the U.S. Constitution never explicitly mentions God or the divine.
well, not Constitution. I think it's the Declaration of Independence, or what was the document created by the founda- the how do you call it? The foundation of the os pais fundadores, the foundation of fathers of this nation.
The Declaration of Independence, but that's like a Declaration of Independence is like a suck it to the king, right?
I don't know. I was watching a documentary. I don't remember which document they presented it, but it had the sovereign individual as the center of all things. Like we're free individuals. We are given fundamental rights at birth, and nobody can take those fundamental rights from us. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why this is a free country. Let's say because it's the those fundamental rights are not given to us by the state, by the government. It's given to us by something else
Sure.
beyond that.
That is on the Declaration of Independence,
Okay,
but
so
not the
yeah,
Constitution.
okay. So I
You
was
need to
talking
read up.
about that the
Yeah.
Declaration of
Yeah.
Independence. So yeah, do you have the beginning of the
I can
declaration?
have where God is mentioned. Apparently, it's mentioned 4 times.
Okay,
So, to assume amongst the powers of the earth the separate and equal station
that's
to
the
which the
part.
laws of nature and the laws of nature's God entitles them,
Yes, laws
a
of
decent
nature.
respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the cause which impelled them to the separation.
Okay.
Sure, I butchered this.
Yeah.
And then it says, then the declaration goes on to say, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights.
Unalienable, yes.
Jesus. Sorry. I need water. Unalienable rights.
Okay.
Unalienable rights.
Yeah, they're intrinsic to human
that amongst
existence.
these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Yes.
The Declarations of Independence reminds us that all aspects of our lives, spiritual and political, are in God's hands. And the final mention of the divine in the Declaration of Independence is, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
So see, I really like that. I really like that idea because
I like that.
Because I think if you don't have the idea of God or something that is bigger than the state, then the state becomes
your God.
Everything becomes God, and they are able to dictate and do whatever they want. With the population.
Anybody can say anything about what God said and make that their will. That's just changing the point of focus into something that you can quantify, or you can just create dogma because God said so, because it's in Scripture.
Well, it's not dogma. It's
religious dogma.
But you can't say.
Have you spoken to God?
But you can't
what
say.
Has God told you?
But you can't say fundamental rights are a dogma imposed by a certain religion or a certain ideology. It's something that is much deeper, much more truth than that. Like, it's something that we feel, and we have.
That's something that you feel now, living in the 21st century. Like, I don't think that's the feeling that most people under any kind of religion felt. If you go to India, you have caste systems. If you open the Scripture, the Bible, you're going to see all these elements that men and women are not created equal, for example.
What? Say it again. Sorry, I think I deviated my attention.
In the Scripture, you're not going to see that men and women have the same way of going about through earth, or they're seen in equal light. I don't think that religion actually put those things there, and that can be said to a lot. Don't want to generalize and speak out of my butt.
Okay, let's say it's a dogmatic set of rules.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that it was created. Let's say specifically to create a set of dogmas or whatever.
Sorry.
Let's say the Declaration of Independence. Okay, let's use that document as an example. Don't you think that, and then we go back into our good old discussion. Don't you think that a certain set of rules, they will generate better outcomes than others because of the values that set of rules carries? You know what I'm saying? So I think
depends.
By saying that,
depends on what you define by better outcome.
I think that's true because it somehow puts all human beings in the same category, in the same patamar, how to say plane, exactly. So I think it makes it more difficult for tyranny to manifest, for injustice to manifest, because we have certain unalienable rights that not even even the state
unalienable.
Unalienable.
Because it's alienable, because unalienable. Got it.
Okay. Anyways, some intrinsic rights.
Yeah.
That will make it more difficult for society itself or the system itself to degenerate into complete chaos or tyranny and corruption, because there's something that is divinely protected. Something that is a fundamental right that cannot be broken at any circumstance.
But all I'm saying...
You know what I'm saying? I see some things happening in Brazil right now, for example, and I see how much freedom is the idea of freedom is much, it's solidified so much more in this country here than in Brazil, for example. That should have the same idea of freedom. People believe they have freedom down there, but now I see certain actions from the Supreme Court that are, just trampling constitutional rights in order to serve a ideological purpose or a political purpose. You see that here too, but there it's happening shamelessly now.
left and right.
Left and right. You know, this minister from the Supreme Court will like, okay, we're going to arrest or demonetize all the conservative platforms. Like shamelessly, boom, just like a signature. And then the FBI will go to those people, knock on their doors, take all their laptops, take all this stuff. This happened in Brazil. It's like an ideological prosecution, basically. People went to jail for criticizing the Supreme Court. So
Inquisition.
yeah. So
Well, is the Supreme Court?
the only reason why that's happening in Brazil is because our constitution is not like, we don't have a strong document that puts freedom on top as the center of not just freedom but the sovereignty of the individual and certain fundamental rights as the core of the core of the values of the society, of that society itself, you know.
Yeah.
So
but
it
what I'm trying
allows
to
that to happen. So here it's harder to happen, and I think because we have a strong document, like beautiful document like that talks about that.
But what you're
very
saying, you're not
specifically,
saying
you know?
this. The point we're trying to make is like, you need this religious doctrine or dogma, and because some religions will have better ideas and will lead
Not
to
just
better
religions,
outcomes. But what I'm saying is,
ideas in general.
this is a recent document. This comes to opposition of the status quo of religion at the time, right? So if religion was so nice for the things that we have today, why would you have to rewrite this document? It wouldn't be news. It would just be part of the day-to-day. This document and the Constitution of the United States come as an opposition of what was before, of what was the norm, and that's why it's progressive. That's why in the grand scheme of things, they added new ideas.
Well, but what
And
I said
that's all
about
I'm
religion,
saying. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like you said, well, religion was there before this document. And if everything was so balanced and perfect, there was no need to create something like this. Hello, everybody, and thank you for watching until the end. This has been Woke Wars, and I hope you liked our conversation. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and drop a comment down below. Tell us what you'd like to hear us talk about next. Also, check out some of our other episodes. We post every Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We will see you on the next one.